Hey guys, and thanks for joining us. It's Chef Jason Morse, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. And as you can see, we've got a change of venue today. That's right, I'm hanging out just outside of Chicago at LaGrange Park Ace Hardware for today's edition of Ace This Recipe. Super excited because it's corned beef time, but I'll tell you what I'm really excited about is this corned beef is no nitrites, no sulfites, no curing agents. We're just gonna use a little bit of our brine. We're gonna add some beautiful ingredients to it to make this a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, a little bit less salty, a little more fun, but not lacking any flavor, because today we're going on the Traeger Ironwood 885. We're going to enjoy a little super smoke for a few hours. We're going to put it in a pan, add a little beef stock to it, and in just maybe 5-6 short hours, we're going to have some pretty fantastic corned beef for you today. So thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for hanging out with us. Hey, don't forget to head up to that eye. That's going to be our information station. That'll let you into the world of gear, gadgets, grills. It'll show you everything about the grill we're using, the pellets, all of that fun stuff and more. So we'll bring it in nice and close. We're going to do our little food flyover, talk a little bit about our ingredients today, and then we're going to get up and running. So it is time. Let's get cooking. All right, so we're gonna start off right there with our Ace bucket. That's gonna hold everything today. It's gonna hold the chef's brine, the brine bag that we're gonna put the chef's brine into. It's gonna hold the brisket as well. Now, if we move over into some of our dry ingredients, we've got brown sugar, some mustard seeds, some smoked black pepper, a little bit of cloves, some ground allspice, juniper berries, bay leaves, ginger, and garlic, all nice and fresh. We've got beef stock, apple cider vinegar, and check this out. The redness in our corned beef is coming out of beets and beet juice. That's gonna be fantastic. Then this guy right here. This is our brisket flat. So we went with a 6-pound brisket flat. We may or may not do a little trimming depending on how much fat we have or if there's any connective tissue, but pretty simple, pretty easy. All right, so let's show you a little bit about how we get this brine started. And I wanted to just show you kind of how everything dissolves and what this does. But we're gonna go ahead and add this to some warm water, right? We added our chef's brine to the warm water. We're gonna add our brown sugar in there, our mustard seeds, our black pepper. We've got our whole cloves, our ground allspice, our juniper berries, bay leaves, and then we're gonna kick it up with some fresh ginger and fresh garlic as well. All right, so that is all set. Now, what we're gonna do with this, go ahead and get this mixed, get this dissolved a little bit. Now we'll take this brine and we're gonna bring it to a boil. Then, once we bring it to a boil, we're gonna chill this. We're gonna cool it down so that we're adding a cold brine to the cold beef. Then, once we cool the brine down, we're gonna add our beets and we're gonna add our apple cider vinegar to that, and that's gonna help us really take this brine to the next level. All right, well, here we have our brisket flat, and what I'm looking for here is I'm just looking to see if there's any little bits of connective tissue that I need to be trimming off on the bottom here. Looks like we still have a little bit, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get this set. Now, this is a choice brisket flat. And the reason I went with choice is I wanted this to be just a little bit leaner, right? You can absolutely go with prime if you want. That's gonna give you that beautiful fat that everybody loves in prime. Like I said, I went with choice just to keep it a little bit leaner as well. And about 6 pounds, anywhere from 5 to 6 pounds is about the right size and about what I'm looking for. So this is pretty well trimmed. Now, let's go ahead and turn this over. And what I'm looking for here is the thickness of fat. Looks like I'm a little bit thick up here. So we're gonna go ahead and do just a little bit of trimming on this just to thin this out. And basically, I'm looking for just a very thin, maybe 1/8 to 1/4 inch thickness of fat along the top of this brisket flat as well. But that's pretty much it. Once this is all trimmed and ready to go, next thing we're gonna do is finish up the brine and then get this into the bucket where it's gonna soak for the next 3 days. All right, so we went ahead and got the brisket trimmed. We are all set and ready to go. Now, I'm gonna put this in the Ace bucket that already has our brine bag in it, right? So that's all set to go. We'll set our cutting board back here. Go ahead and grab our gloves. Now it's time to finish the brine up. So we followed the instructions on the package. We brought it to a boil, then we turned it down, made sure everything was dissolved, then we cooled it, and now we're gonna add our beets, right? Shredded beets, because there's nothing better in your brine than a little bit of shredded beets. And again, we're just using that for the color. Now we add our apple cider to it, and we are set to go. That is the beauty of that brine right there. So now that we've got everything set, we go ahead and pour the brine in. Set that to the side. Now, look at this. The beauty of this bucket, right? It's gonna hold that entire brine bag. So now we're gonna put the brisket in there, and I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull this up here real quick. What I like to do is take out all the air in the bag. We're gonna twist this up. All the brine bags come with a twist tie, so we'll go ahead and put that twist tie on there. And now we're gonna let the corning process work. So this is all set and ready to go. We go back in the bucket. Now what I'm gonna do is take the bucket and pop it in the fridge. If you don't have enough room for it, what I would do is put this brisket in a stock pot or a small bowl, something that can hold the liquid if it should spill. But we are done. Now we're gonna let this go for 3 days so that can start the brining process. All right, so we're gonna be using the Traeger Ironwood 885 today, and we're actually gonna enjoy quite a few of the features of this grill today. We're gonna use Wi-Fi, so we're gonna be able to track on our phone. We're gonna plug in the probe so that we can set an alarm and start tracking our temperature as well. And then we're gonna use Super Smoke today, which is great because that is going to, 2 to 2.5 times the amount of smoke. We'll go ahead and get this set at 180. We'll hit ignite, we're good to go. We're gonna use hickory pellets today just because I wanted to have a little bit stronger flavor in their corned beef today. So we'll get that guy topped off a little bit. And now we are set and ready to go. Okay, so while the Traeger preheats, we've got it set to 180 degrees. We loaded it with our hickory. We are now at the 3-day mark of our brisket flat. So I would take this out and show you guys. We're gonna let this drain for just a little bit, but look at that. Somebody asked me, hey, if you're trying to keep it cleaner with no nitrite sulfates, why do you add the beets? Well, I'll tell you what, if you can see in this color, if you were to do this in a brine without some beet juice in it or something red, it would turn gray. All of that brine would leach out a little bit of the myoglobin in the meat, and it would turn very, very gray. So we're actually protecting the color, but we're also pulling a little bit of that flavor in so it looks a little bit more like corned beef. So now we're gonna go ahead and let this rest for just a few minutes. It's probably gonna take the Traeger about 15 minutes to warm up. We're gonna let this sit, and then it is time to get it in and get ready to super smoke. All right, we are all preheated at 180 degrees. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna hit Super Smoke button. You'll see a little triangle show up here. Now, don't worry about it. In the Super Smoke mode, you're gonna hear this grill fan slow down as it starts slowly pulsing little bursts of air to keep that Super Smoke rolling. Now, we'll go ahead and get this set real quick. We're gonna go ahead and put the brisket fat side up for now, right? Because we wanna get some beautiful smoke in there. And as you can see, I have the grill grate set up in the second mode. So I'm not down low where I'm searing, I'm up a little bit higher to give me some smoke. All right, we're at that 2.5 hour mark. I'm gonna give you a little glimpse into that beauty, and look at that. Super Smoke mode did a fantastic job. So again, we pushed the Super Smoke mode. We looked for that little tornado. That told us it was on, and you can hear that fan kind of speeding up and slowing down. That delivered fantastic smoke. Now, we're gonna go ahead and turn this up to 325, and don't worry about that. It'll tell you Super Smoke is canceled. So now that is set to go. We've already got our probe out. Now, let's show you what we're gonna do with round 2. All right, well, we've got some afternoon shadows, so enjoy my hand puppets while we do this. But look at this, beautiful, right? We've got a lot of smoke in here. Now, I'm gonna find the thickest part, because now it's all about probe cooking, right? So we are gonna go into that 180 degree internal temp. So we'll go ahead and get that probe loaded in there like so. We'll leave that run out. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a quart of beef stock into the pan, because again, we wanna impart a lot of moisture in here. We wanna kind of finish this guy off. I've got my foil already set, and now we'll go ahead and cover this up nice and tight. Okay, we're on that climb to 325, as you can see now. We'll go ahead and plug the probe in. It's gonna say, do you wanna set an alarm? Yes. We're gonna dial this to 180, and we're done. Now the beauty of it is we can let Wi-Fi take over, so we can really track this now from the comfort of our phone. A little bit of our doneness flyover. So this took us another 2 hours. This finished actually at about 182 degrees, but look at that. That is beautiful. That is all handcrafted. And the nice thing about it is, again, like we said, no nitrites, no sulfites, no curing agents. So we're gonna get a much cleaner, more beautiful tasting product. And then in the back, we've got a little bit of vegetables, just your classic carrots, potatoes, and green cabbage. All right, so we are finished. This is all set. And like I've said before, the beauty of this recipe is now we have handcrafted this 100% on our own. We didn't add nitrites or any of those artificial ingredients. This is all natural, handcrafted corned beef. It did a great job. It brined for 3 days. We super smoked it on the ironwood, which is fantastic. It really doubles and triples that smoke volume. And then we covered it up, added the beef stock, let it go for about another 2.5 hours. It finished at 185, which is perfect. That's what we were looking for, and now we are done. So we have a little bit of cabbage, carrots, and potatoes here as well that we can do as our garnish or as our side. And then again, you could shave this, make sandwiches, add some sauerkraut, and you are good to go. Hey, today's recipe, don't forget, head down below into that description section. You can click, print, and follow along. Grab this recipe. It's got a lot of great tips there for you as well. And then while you're grabbing the recipe, don't forget to leave us a comment. Tell us what you liked, what would you like to see, and how can we be more helpful? You know, our goal, as always, is to make you legends in the backyard cooking circuit. So leave those comments and help guide us to some more fun and great content for you. Then it's time to subscribe. Get down there, subscribe to the Ace Hardware YouTube channel, click on those notifications. You'll be notified when more Ace This Recipe videos are live, and our friend Lou has got some helpful content for you as well. Don't miss out on that. So, yeah, this is amazing, right? And again, if you're looking for more videos, dig in after this. We've got some fantastic ribs as well. And then we also braised and smoked some beautiful, beautiful beef short ribs as well. You know those dino ribs. We've got those set for you as well. So let's dig in here, take a little slice into this. Oh, wow. The beauty of this too, like I said, just fantastic. And look at that smoke ring. Nice and juicy, dripping up a storm, and a beautiful smoke ring as well. So we'll go through here, grab a little bit of this guy off. That is exceptional. I'm Chef Jason Morris, your Ace Hardware grilling expert. Happy cooking.